the assignment for your life or in your life is really key, God doesn't make a mistake. He doesn't make mistakes. He puts you in a place for a reason. And many times we feel, no, I made my way to this job. I made my way here. It was my academics, my papers, all that kind of things. Hey, beautiful. You did a great job. You passed highly. You got the first class degree. You got this and this, and you became the executive director of blah, blah, blah. You became the minister of dan, dan, dan. And oh my God, all the honors are unto you. Wherever you pass, it's amazing. Wherever you sit, everybody's like, oh, I wish I were in that office. But never know the reason as to why you're in that particular place. Your assignment in life has a reason. You don't just go in places for the sake of going to a place. I love the story of Mordecai and Esther. When the Jews are in trouble and Mordecai sends message to Esther, and Esther is kind of dilly-dallying and all that kind of thing. And Mordecai reminds and says, okay, you're there. You think you're safe on A, B, C, D. But you got to realize that probably it's for such a time as this that you are in the palace. Now, I would like that to relate to your life. You are in a position. I am the executive director of ABCD. I hold this title. I hold this position. I am the minister. I am ABCD, and everybody admires your position. You equally look at yourself in the mirror and you go like, wow, is this me in this place? But it's not just about you being in that place. You're going to be like, no, but I worked myself there. I probably passed highly in school, or maybe I had the best network, the best connections. Beautiful, you had all that. But something about fulfilling purpose, God's purpose in your life, is that He places you in different assignments so that you can do what He requires you to do. One of the greatest regrets, I believe, is when you were in a position to do something and unfortunately you did not do the right thing, and because of greed or lack of integrity or your selfishness, you ended up doing something contrary to what was meant to be done. And then years down the road, you sit in a place where you're not able to make the decisions that you made then, and you keep looking back and say, I wish I had done better. I wish I had been a blessing to somebody. I wish I just didn't think about myself all through this period. How do you avoid that? You're going to tell me, no, many times we have to do this, circumstances lead us this way. But I'd just like you to relate and remember the story of Queen Esther. When Mordecai sent that message to her, it's like it was a wake-up call, and she realizes that, yeah, I am not just queen for the sake of, I'm not queen because I am only so beautiful. Yes, true, God used her beauty and the favor to get her there, but it was equally for a bigger goal, a bigger purpose. It was for something greater than what Esther ever imagined she would go through. And when she wakes up to that call, she realizes that she needs to do something different. And you get to know the story. It folds and folds and folds to the point that when Esther went before the king, and the king was so happy to see her, and the king goes like, Esther, mention anything, I'll even give you up to half of the kingdom. But Esther realizes, no, I have not come here for half the kingdom. I have a purpose. I am on a mission. Now, I'll ask you a question. How many times have you gotten distracted when you had the opportunity to do something that would bless multitudes of people, but then you decided to selfishly take on a different course? You knew that the purpose ahead of you was quite big. It would be a blessing to multitudes of people, but along the way, you forgot about it. You even told God, you know what, God, I thank you for the job you gave me, but you know, forgot on my stomach. Oh, everybody has to deal with their own issues. But the thing is, you get to that place, and after you have done what had to be done, you get this self-gratification for a moment. But there's a moment you get to, and you look back and realize what I did was wrong. So I'd like us to remember, when God puts you in a place, He's putting you there for a reason. And usually it's not just about you. But even if you say, I was in poverty for a long time and God brought me out, so I need to enjoy myself. Yes, He has lifted you to that place to make you happy, but equally He has lifted you to that place to make you a blessing to somebody else. I have seen a number of people when they are trusting God for something, all the promises we make to God. Wow, I thank God that He's a faithful and forgiving God. God, if you give me this position, I promise I will do this. I will A, B, C, D. I will do the other. I will walk with all integrity. I will help so and so. But then along the way, this old man from very far comes and says, I need your service. And you assure him, time is up. I know you need to take care of your time. You need to take care of your health. But there's that moment when you know the reason you're saying time is up is just because of, come on, don't you see I need to do other things? Don't you think you're already late, I cannot deal with you anymore? Yet when you were getting into that assignment, you were oh so holy, beautiful girl. But I would like us to remember what Mordecai said to Esther. Couldn't it be that you were there for such a time as this? In that job, in that assignment, in that mission, in that ministry, in whatever you were doing, can you sit down and ask yourself, why has God put me here? You'll say to serve my country, to do business, to do ABCD, but there is something deeper. That when you're seated in that place that God has blessed you to sit in, you are meant to be cause an impact to those around you. That when you leave that seat, when you leave that title, you will look back and appreciate, and you look up to heaven and say, Father, thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve in a place that others could not stand to serve. I always love to say, in my country, Uganda, over 45 million Ugandans. And I say, God, I am blessed to sit in a place that I'm seated in, because there's a woman out there who applied for the job that I am in and she did not get it. There is a man who wanted it but didn't get it. There is someone else who wanted it but surely they had no papers. Maybe they can't even speak, introduce themselves. But they said, if I only got a chance. But they did not get the chance. So the question to me is, in this assignment that God has given me, it's not just about serving the people around me, is about a bigger cause, that my purpose, the purpose of God, will be fulfilled in my life. So for a young lady out there, for a young gentleman, ask yourself, why am I in this place? Is it just for my family? Is it just for the money? There is something bigger. And if you want a better answer, when you're answering that question, sit down with your God and tell Him, Father, why did you put me in this place? What do you expect out of me? That when I walk out of this place, this title, which is temporary for a moment, that's something we always forget. That in the assignments we hold, they are temporary for a moment. But the impacts, the impact is not temporary. No, not at all. The job title that I hold today, assuming I'm a businesswoman, it is for a moment. But the impact that I leave is not for a moment. It has a multiplier effect. The corporate job that you sit in today, that desk that you sit behind as the leader of this and that, it is a title that you're holding for a moment. And for that moment, it's a title which gives you all the beautiful privileges. And God has said, I have put you there for a reason. But you are not going to be there forever. Because when you go to another life, someone else is going to take it. Or when you shift, or when age catches up with you and you must move, you're going to move. But remember what Mordecai said. As you sit at that assignment every day, as you do that job, as you wait to serve others, ask the question, could it be that I am here for such a time as this, that I be of service to so and so? Maybe it is just one man or one woman you were meant to bless in your entire career that would hold a multiplier effect. But then the day he or she walks up, because of your mood swing, girl, oh boy, you don't even want to stare at him. And you give him this attitude and the person leaves broken, saying, God, do I deserve such treatment? God, I don't think you want to lose on your assignment because of one single moment where you fail to take control of yourself. You know what I'm talking about, ladies. Those moments when you feel like, I am off my moods. The Bible says you have the spirit of self-control. I have met people who are so angry. I once walked into an office. I once entered an office where there was this lady, oh girl, she was so moody. And you know what? Quite a number of us who needed a service. Then there's a lady who had been in before me, but as I sit there, she comes in And I noticed the mood on this lady's face, and I first kind of hold back. So the lady walks in with her daughter and says, in her local language, says, "I'd like you to help me. How can I feel this place?" Oh, the lady got so mad at her and frustrated and began to shout. And I'm like, okay, what is all this? But the office that this young lady was holding was meant to serve people. It wasn't about her mood swings. Later on, I get to realize that she had a family issue which was messing her up between her and her husband. And she was so bitter and so, frustrated. And I left that office and, I had a chat with her and all that. I saw she was hurt, but the way she treated the other lady really did not deserve it. Many of us sit in offices, in positions where a lot of people depend on our services. And the people who depend on our services, some of them do not have probably the ability to read how mad you are that day or how upset you are with your husband. Or some of them are not able to, to gauge and say, okay, I have to keep away on ABCD because they have come for a service. And it is up to you to realize that the assignment that you are holding is meant to bless others. Don't let every mood swing carry you here and there. I am ABCD, and then you get messed up and everybody messes you up and you cannot fulfill the assignment God has given you for the moment. I can imagine how this young lady left with her daughter feeling so broken, feeling so disturbed, yet she did not deserve it. It wasn't in her making, or she wasn't the cause of the frustration of this other lady. But because this lady could not control everything about her, she handled the assignment she had wrongly. She failed to realize her assignment is meant to fulfill God's purpose in her life. Her assignment is meant to bless somebody else, to carry them to another level. And maybe that was a one-off, I do not know. But the people who are constantly in that kind of mess, and they carry it on to everybody and affects their assignments in life. Young girl out there, the assignment that God has given unto you, how well are you holding on to it? Are you using it for the right reasons? Are you serving at the point that you will leave that seat and you will look back and not even wish for another moment to go back to rectify stuff? But you're saying, I did my job. Father, it is time for me to walk away. Or if you called me right now, God, I am good to go. I would really love to get to that place whereby I look back. And even if I left my current job, I look back and say, yeah, I am good to go. I did what I had to do. I did what I had to do. But that takes the question that Mordecai put out to Esther. So stand in Esther's shoes. You are the Esther of today, and you need to give that answer. And I hope that, like Esther, your answer will be, yes, Lord, I will fulfill the purpose for which you have put me here. God bless you. Till next time, stay blessed, and I love to be a blessing. God bless you.